about how his points are eradicated. I'm not talking about the kneeling. I'm not talking about the protesting. I'm a black man, you idiots. You think I have a problem with a man that is kneeling and protesting racial oppression and police brutality? Do you know anything about my history in 25 years in this damn business? T.O. sends me a damn text just now. T.O., how many times have I come to the defense of Terrel Owens? Okay? How many times have I talked about how unfairly he has been maligned, how people have insulted him, how this man deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Get your popcorn ready, everybody. Welcome back to First Take, coming to you live from the Seaport District at Pier 17, brought to you by Chase. So we just heard Stephen A. delivering a passionate response to critics of his takes on Colin Kaepernick. One of those critics is a Hall of Famer, friend of the show, Terrel Owens, who joins us now. T.O., thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Morning, morning. All right.
What's up?
Hall of Famer?
Thanks.
T.O., tell me this. What was your biggest issue about Stephen A.'s take that prompted you to text him and get on him about it?
I think it was more just, how he pretty much attacked Colin, especially being the distinguished analyst, sports commentator that he is. Just the way that he's gone about, really, I think, not really kind of doing his due diligence. And I think Max hit on a couple of things on yesterday where, again, whomever his sources are from the NFL, within the NFL, who gave him information, they gave him some inaccurate information. And I'm talking mainly in reference to the standard waiver that they were trying to get Colin Kaepernick to sign.
T.O., before I get into my response, first of all, thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Secondly, how do you know it was inaccurate? When you say I got inaccurate information, how do you know that that was inaccurate? If I got a waiver, I got a copy of Colin Kaepernick's waiver that he was presented. I got a copy of the waiver that the NFL had from 2011. I got a copy of the waiver that the NFL has in 2019. I have all three in my possession. What information did I have that was inaccurate?
Well, I think just the information that was inserted into the waiver that they initially, not initially, but they wanted him to sign, it was obviously different than the standard waiver. I think obviously he did a great job of having his representatives review that, and upon going into the workout, he realized that, yeah, he was going to put himself in harm's way had he signed that waiver. I think you guys discussed it. Even Max alluded to it on the show as well. You got wrong information. So if I'm Colin Kaepernick and then, obviously not allowed the adequate time to have his people review those documents, and then they basically tried to dictate when and where and how, for him to do his workout. Then you insert this additional language, which isn't consistent with the standard waiver. Then that's not right.
Well, a couple of things. Let me speak now. And Max, please forgive my indulgence. I just need to
Go
talk.
ahead.
I need to talk
T.O.
to T.O.
and at you.
I need to talk to T.O. one-on-one on this one. Here's the deal, T.O. First of all, I appreciate your perspective. I get all of that, all right? And I understand. I'm not offended by anything that you're saying. Let me make sure I say that, number one. Number two, when we talk about the waiver, understand that I read on the air the difference between one waiver and the next. So the very thing that you're talking about that was omitted from the previous waiver that Colin Kaepernick had signed years ago, I actually read and highlighted where the difference was. So I don't think I was inaccurate. What I was saying was I understood exactly, and I highlighted the difference. All I was saying was that at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick said that he wanted a workout with the NFL. The opportunity was granted to him. Was it ideal? No, but it was granted to him. Now, I want to get to a deeper subject because this is where you and I need to have this discussion. And I think it's incredibly important. And Tamale and Max, I would say to both of y'all, I need to have this conversation right now, at least for the next couple of minutes, from one black man to another.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Here's the deal, T.O., that I want everybody to understand. When it came to Colin Kaepernick, the one thing that I did not highlight is that Max might have gotten his information from the Colin Kaepernick's camp, which, Max, you did say, correct?
Correct.
Okay. T.O., they had been communicating with me for the last couple of months. I have texts that I will not divulge, and they know who it's from, where they religiously said, We want back in the NFL. We want a workout. Stephen A., can you be one of the people that help us? You know that oppression is something that he's suffering from, that he has been blackballed, and he fought on behalf of us. So behind the scenes, I'm fighting on behalf of Colin Kaepernick to get him a workout because that's what he said he wanted. Not only does he not show up, but he goes to a different location. Not only does he work out going to a different location, acting like it was impromptu, but there were people there with Colin Kaepernick shirts or wearing T-shirts that said, I know my rights. But it was in the aftermath of saying all he wanted was a workout with an NFL team so he could get back in the NFL. And at the end of the day, here's the issue, and I take no issue with UTO, and I take no issue with those who support Colin Kaepernick. You my brother. I got nothing but love for you. You and I go back a long ways. Right. We're good. But this is what I want to say. 2 black men are up here. In your case, you're defending Colin Kaepernick now. In my case, I've defended Colin Kaepernick on numerous occasions throughout the years. I'm talking about the Mike Wilbons, the James Browns, and everybody in between. Black folks all over the country, all in the media, everybody speaking up on behalf of Colin Kaepernick. But Colin Kaepernick. You the one person that don't have anything to say. You step aside while brothers and sisters who know that you were right to want to address police brutality, who know that you were right to want to address racial oppression, who know that you were right when you say that you didn't deserve to be blackballed and you didn't deserve to have your cause politicized. All of us are fighting on behalf of you, but you are the one that won't speak up for yourself. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I think the thing is, in the black community, like I said, I'm in the streets. I hear what's going on.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
The thing is, I think, Stephen A., you have a platform. It's okay to disagree, but it was the way you were going about it. It was almost like you were attacking him. And I think the thing with Colin Kaepernick and the way that things shifted right at the doorstep of this workout is just the transparency. You alluded to the document. As that related, I mean, as I was referring to it with the document, the waiver, again, like I said, when you insert language into something that's not standard, then obviously you have to take time to review those documents. And like I said, they weren't given adequate time to do that. And so to now insert that and then think that he was going to sign it right at the door front, then that's not fair. You giving him, if you're going to give him a fair workout, then give him a fair workout. He was allowed no media access. They were trying to dictate who his receivers were.
I have to stop you there. I have to stop you there. I am on the air right now listening to a Hall of Famer who I believe has had a multitude of opportunities to highlight unfairness that has been exacted from him. Did that stop you from accepting the challenge, knowing that you were walking into situations that were flagrantly unfair, that you were operating behind the 8 ball, at a disadvantage, courtesy of a system and an entity that obviously had a lot of power and influence to compromise whatever your aspirations were? You do it, I do it. There are people that sit up there. You ain't the only one that accused me of attacking him. I would ask you to recall what I said. What I said is that I have been supporting this man. What I didn't support was you sending, not you, meaning him, sending the message that everything has to be ideal and everything has to be fair in order for me to embrace the challenge to acquire what I have been behind the scenes through my camp telling everybody I want. If you don't want to work out, that's fine. If you think it's unfair and you want, and I know, Max, you want to get in, I'm going to bring you in. Yeah. And you don't think it's fair, that's fine. And you want to get your lawyer, and your lawyer wants to stand up there and say, this waiver is an issue. We're ready to work out, but not until they alter this waiver, etc. That's different. But to not do the workout, to change locations, and then to go and give a speech to the media without taking any questions, any inquiry as to what's really going on, you are leaving others to surmise what the hell happened.
Can I answer that real quick?
Fair.
Tio, do you mind if I jump in, Tio?
Yes, before you do that, but
go ahead.
What I wanted is transparency, Stephen A. And that's like I've done it. I've had incidents throughout the course of my career, and then there have been times where I've gone into interviews where I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours of an interview, and then they break down and they edit, and then you guys get on the show, and there's a panel of people, and then they break down whatever clips that they show. They're not showing the entire hour and a half or 2 hours of that interview that I've done. So what he wanted was transparency, for people to see the full workout, to see the full Colin Kaepernick. Again, you mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna check you right now. You done crossed the line.
I'm just saying.
Tell me. Wait a minute. You done crossed the line. First of all, like I said, you, Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed, any of y'all that want to debate me in front of black people and talk about what's best for black people, name the time and place, I'll show up. I don't want to hear, what's the definition of blackness? Is there a definitive definition of blackness? Why are you giving the impression that because I don't march lockstep with every single thing that Colin Kaepernick wants? Okay, excuse me. Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm not agreeing.
Wait a minute.
I'm not agreeing with everything that Colin Kaepernick has done.
I'm not saying that, but you said, you just sat up there and used an expression, more blacker. Excuse me. I'm from Hollis, Queens, New York City. You ain't the only brother out there that's in the streets. I'm in the streets every day.
I get it.
And so let's be very clear. And you damn well know that's the truth. And so my point to you is this. Again, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to go that route. But based on just what you just said, this is supposedly Stephen A. and T.O. going at one another. Did you know that I invited Colin Kaepernick to give him this platform for the entire 2 hours? I said, you can edit the damn show. You can have it live. We can talk whatever you want to talk. The floor is yours. I also gave that invitation to Eric Reed. I know people at other networks that has given Colin Kaepernick that same thing. They disagreed with him to some degree. Are you questioning their blackness too? Come on, man. There's certain things that's crossing the line.
Dude, I mean, you're taking it as disrespect. There's no disrespect.
There's no disrespect to that?
No, dude. It's tongue in cheek, but at the same time, like I said, I'm in the streets. Like I said, I hear what's going on. And as I said, you don't have to agree. I don't totally agree with some of the things. As I texted you the other day, he could have articulated or expressed his thoughts better than he did in the interview. Or if he didn't want to do that, he could have had his representatives speak on his behalf. Yeah, you probably offered that platform for him to come on and speak on whatever, but he hasn't done that. That's not for me or you to say why he did or he didn't or hasn't.
Excuse me, guys. Terrell, Stephen A., sorry to interrupt you guys, but we